Okay, so we'll move on to next para, that is para 24. Very simple para. Para 24 is related to purchase of asset parts. Okay, purchase of asset parts. So we'll start. If an asset purchased forms part of another asset, it should be depreciated as follows. Okay, it will be depreciated as follows. First we'll draw a chart. If such asset forms an integral part of another asset, if such asset does not form an integral part of another asset, how will calculate the depreciation of the another asset? So we'll calculate if such asset forms an integral part. If such asset forms an integral part, then the depreciation will be calculated how? See, I'll show you. As per this, first, if the asset old asset, that is another asset, value is rupees 1 lakh, and you have purchased another asset for rupees 10,000. So just simply add this together, 1 lakh plus 10,000, which comes to rupees 1,10,000, and calculate the depreciation as per the use life of this asset only, of the main old asset, if it forms an integral part. So you have to just add it, and the depreciation of the next year will automatically increase because of the add of another asset. But if it is not forms part an integral asset, then you have to take this two asset differently and calculate depreciation differently. Depreciate this as per his method and depreciation this as per his method. But if another asset from integral part of other asset, just simply add it and calculate depreciation as per the old asset only. Just take it as the old asset value have just increased. You have to not think any more else. So see. So then how to depreciate? Then to be depreciated as per old rate and use life of the asset, that is original asset, or we can call it original asset or old asset. Okay, but if it does not forms an integral part of another asset, then we have to calculate it as both the asset should be depreciated separately as per its useful life. Okay, so this was para 24. Very simple. Firstly, I want you all to please pause the video and copy this much first. So now we have remaining one para, that is para 12. This para I usually teach it in the end because this is the para in which there are different methods of depreciation. It has been told in this para, the direction is given that even if there are different methods of depreciation, that means if you have 10 asset, you on 10 different assets, you can follow different methods. That is, on the first asset you followed WDV, on the second you followed SLF, on the third you followed sinking fund method of depreciation. Whatever method of depreciation you want, you can follow on your asset, but on a particular asset you have to follow a particular method only. So this is given in this para 12. So this is very small para, only informative para, but you have to memorize this para because there is a question asked on this para in the practice manual. There are several methods of depreciation. There are several methods of depreciation or allocating depreciation over the useful life of the asset. The management of the business selects the most appropriate method based on various important factors, which are types of the asset, second, the nature of use of such asset. Wait, I'll pull the book up. Third, circumstances of prevailing business. A combination of more than one method of depreciation is sometimes used. The company can adopt, just a second, a company can adopt different methods of depreciation for different assets, provided the same is followed consistently. So this is just an informative para. Please pause the video and copy the para. Okay, so we'll revise this para again. Para 12 says that there are several methods of depreciation, that is allocation of depreciation over the use life of the asset. The management of the business select the most appropriate method based on the various important factors, that is type of the asset, the nature of the use of such asset, the circumstances of the prevailing business. A combination of more than one method of depreciation is sometimes used. The company can adopt different methods of depreciation for different assets, provided the same is followed consistently as per the fundamental accounting assumption, that is consistency, that we have studied in the AS1 in fundamental accounting assumptions. See, I'll show you again. The pages are so sticky these days. Consistency. Okay. So this all things are very bit related. While writing para 12, you can put the AS1 para also over here, that is the para of fundamental accounting assumption, that is para 10, You can write para 10 also and give your knowledge to the examiner who is checking the paper. If he gets impressed, he'll give you full 5 out of 5 marks. So while solving the sums in the practice manual, be cautious and see where the other AS accounting standard is applicable. So wherever it is applicable, please write with pencil in your practice manuals only and just write the para. So while studying, please read it. Just direct your, if you read there is a connection of para AS1, so just read the para number and read it from the notes. I hope you all have copied the you all have copied AS6 properly. AS6 is a depreciation, simple, basic depreciation you all know very properly, so there is no need of me to exaggerating on AS6 now.